So welcome back to my channel. This is Vardhini and this week's video is going to be a continuation in the travel video series. So this is episode number 2 and this week is going to be Hampi. So banni nan jotte navella Hampige hogana. Okay, so before we get started, let me just say hi to all my 12th grade friends because it was in my 12th grade history textbook that I first found out about this beautiful city called Hampi. Hampi is in a city in Karnataka and it's history coming back to life literally. If you guys love history, you should definitely visit that city. So of course, after visiting all over Rajasthan and North India, all the historical monuments, I was very keen on visiting Hampi and all the monuments there. It's especially famous for monuments left behind by the Chola dynasty as well as the Vijayanagara Empire. So it's a beautiful place and it's a very clean city, and the Archaeological Survey of India has maintained it and it's very beautiful. So you guys should make a move and visit that city. So of course all the temples and the architecture date back to the 5th century, which is unlike most of the monuments all over North India, which are pretty much more recent. Murals on the walls and the all the architecture and all the carvings are very beautiful. So there's this one temple which we visited, and all over the temple the story of Ramayana was depicted across the walls. So as you move around the temple and you complete 5 circles, you would have completed the entire story as well. So that concept, the fact that they didn't have instruments like we have now, sophisticated instruments, they had their own tools and stuff, and how they worked with that and created those kind of murals is just so interesting and so beautiful, and it was just admirable to even see that. And then of course I got to visit this place called the Mahanavami Dibba, which was something I've studied all throughout history, and my friends watching this it'll surely ring a bell. But yeah, that was this huge platform where they used to have these Navratri celebrations back in the 5th century, and it's at this really huge height. I'll insert a picture somewhere of all my memories from that trip, but that was something really beautiful that I got to see, and it was just as if I could relive all those memories of 12th grade through that trip. And talking about some of the things I didn't like, the food isn't that great. So if you like me, if you travel to places to eat, that is something you might miss out on in Hampi, but you might be able to discover some places for yourself. So yeah, that's there. So we also visited this other place which was called the Queen's Bath, which was a huge tank. Now you would call it a swimming pool, but it was a really huge tank, which was apparently the place where the Queen used to come every day to have her bath. And it's huge, and you can just imagine the kind of life and the kind of grandeur that they used to live in at those points of time, because having that big of a bathroom is just, oh my god. And especially for those of you living in Mumbai, like, think about it, what life would have been. Anyway, just kidding. So yeah, and then there were sculptures shaped like elephants, which were actually the things that used to supply water into those tanks. So it's just amazing, and how that thing has survived all these years. The buildings that we construct today just like break down with one small earthquake, and then like just a little bit of a shiver and then the buildings are out. And even now the houses that you live in, within 1 year you're like, oh my god, the walls are becoming yellow and things like that. But those sculptures and those monuments have just passed the test of time to another level. They've just survived. And we also went to this place called Lotus Temple, which was a temple in the shape of a lotus, and it was really beautiful because that lotus, it maintained the ventilation as well, because obviously they didn't have ACs and fans at that point of time. So to be able to maintain that ventilation with the kind of architecture that you're building is just marvelous to even think about the kind of skill the craftsmen and the architects of that point of time had. Like I said, the city is really clean and very beautiful, so that's a great thing. And most of the year it's pretty hot, so make sure you visit that in a certain time that's not really hot and that suits your climatic preferences. But other than that, yeah, it's a city that you should visit. And that's it for today's video, and this is episode 2 from the travel series. I hope you're enjoying this, and check the description box because I will be mentioning which city is coming up next. and do let me know if you want me to talk about any city in particular, and if I have visited that city, I'll surely talk about it in my next video. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for being so patient and supporting me through this YouTube passionate journey of mine. It's really nice to have you guys along. Thank you and have a nice day. Bye.